Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Shadow and the Blade. We're about to get into a battle here that I don't feel super confident about. Have I used you already this turn? Okay, I have. We did some damage to these guys. I'm nervous about this army, but things are not going to get better if we don't take them out now. We have an opportunity, I believe. Yeah, due to the fact that they've been raiding, they'll start the battle winded, which will definitely help us. It has a pretty significant effect on their melee attack and defense, I believe. Yeah, alright, let's go for it. I want to make something clear. I have probably been sounding a little bit defeated here and there over the course of... Ooh, ambush. Ambush is a good hit. Let's go ahead and throw in as many of these as we can afford. I've probably been sounding a little bit defeated over the course of the last episode or two, because this dwarf thing is a real problem. These dwarf things are real problems. But I'm actually having a tremendous amount of fun with this campaign. It's really nice to feel challenged in this way. Like, it can sometimes be the case that a Total War campaign never really gets difficult. Like, you get your first foothold, and then you just keep building forever. And it's entirely possible that a better player would not be feeling challenged here. But I'm having a really good time with the fact that, like, we totally might lose this war. Like, a little bit. You know, I don't think they're going to eliminate us from the game or anything. But, like, stuff might legitimately go wrong. So, obviously we want to start back by the ranged troops. We want to hit them as quickly as possible. I'm noticing that they have it feels like they have a wider area here. Between the closest place that we can deploy and their troops. And I'm not sure why that would be. Also, not sure why there's a huge Dark Elf structure on this map. Because there are no Dark Elves in this part of the world. Where would this even have come from? This... I guess they gave us an icy mountain map because we're in a kind of a mountainous region, and the biggest icy mountain area is the top left of the map where all the Dark Elves live, so some of those maps just have Dark Elf garbage on them. Alright, how are we going to position our troops? This is a little awkward because of the bend. I wish we'd hit them while they were going straight. Because I don't want to set my troops up right here. Right, the ideal thing to do with our gunners, ignoring all the trees, would be to set up right here so that their troops have their melee troops have the longest distance to run to get to us. But if we set up right here, we're going to lose a lot of projectiles to the trees. We can set our melee dudes up over here, but this is pretty bad terrain for the Ratling guns and the Jezzails. Well, can we put the catapults over here? Like, how much tree can I put between the catapults and their guns? Honestly, pretty much where the catapults are now is probably the right spot. Maybe I shouldn't have moved them at all. Maybe they were perfect. That's pretty good. Alright, and then I guess we'll set our gunners up. Here is the best place to have an actual shot at their gunners. But maybe that's not the right move at all. Maybe what I want to do is set the gun units up like this. We'll just fire at the melee right away, and we will trust our melee to get there ranged. We do have 3 units of Doomflayers in this army. We probably want to set these guys up right here because we don't want to have to drive them through trees. We want them to get their full movement speed. And then triads and other stuff can be the stuff that we intend to run in and quickly chop up the enemies in this area can go over here. Eshin triads are going to be pretty good against this army. Anything with that weeping blade is going to be really useful here. Alright, so this leaves their ranged nowhere to run to, because we'll be charging them from one side with the cavalry and the other side with the melee. And we're just going to have a couple units of melee left over to play defense on this side. I guess I should back these units up to their maximum effective range. We don't want to have dwarf melee. We're still going to lose some projectiles to those trees. Where is the edge of your cone? Also, I think the elevation on this map is unusually high because I can't zoom the camera up above the units as much as I usually do, I feel like. Alright, let's have the Jezzails be right next to each other, actually. And, like, back here? Is that... Yeah, that's still... You're still in range. Sorry, I'm having a hard time determining the edge of the cone. Okay, we could fall even further back. Yeah, Jezzails are pretty impressive. And then the rattling guns can go up here in front of most of these trees. Yeah, that's just about right. Okay, and then we have a couple units of melee left over here. We're going to hope to break down all of the enemy melee quickly. Or all of the enemy ranged quickly so that our melee from over there can wheel around and be part of this as well. And then this catapult can be over here to make room for the warp lightning cannons to have a proper direct shot. We probably want them to be spaced all the way out, so let's just take all three of you and move you over slightly. There we go. Alright, terrain's a little bit uneven, but I don't think it'll be a problem. So, is that everybody accounted for? It's not. There's a little yellow dot over here. Ah, there's a unit of storm vermin I was missing. Congratulations. Welcome to the gunner wall. Alright, I think we're basically good. We also have access to some pretty useful magic here. Remember, dwarves have magic damage resistance, but they're not resistant to the other effects of magic. So, like, Wither will still have its full effectiveness against them. Bless with Filth will still have its full effectiveness. We're just going to want to be a little bit cautious about using Plague, because it's not going to be as fun here as it is in many other areas. Alright, do I want to start off with a Fireball, or maybe with an Assault of Stone? We probably want to Assault of Stone once they make contact. So their melee units are mostly stuff we don't have to worry too much about. Giant Slayers we can cut up pretty easily. The Ironbreakers are the most dangerous of the things we see here. Alright, we gotta be a little bit careful with the charge here too, because obviously some of their... Whoa, 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 whoa. I did not mean to... What did I click to unpause the game? Did I click on the banner? Does that do that maybe? The game definitely should not have unpaused there. And keep in mind, our caster has additional melee units as one of his spells. So we have some Storm Vermin we have access to. Let's just try to get in here and crush these guys as quickly as possible. U3 units. You know, it doesn't have to be U3 units. We can save a couple of bodies, and then also we have, obviously, other stuff. We're going to try not to use a Doom Rocket. I don't think we're going to have to use a Doom Rocket. So the 13th spell summons a unit of Storm Vermin. And we also have access to Vermintide, which is more Clan Rats. The Storm Vermin, when they're summoned in, will explode, will cause an explosion and do damage and disrupt the enemy movement. Like the explosion knocks people around. That's its primary value. The damage from it, I believe, will be pretty minor, given the Dwarven magic resist and everything. And remember, we do not have Arcane Conduit or anything analogous with this army, so we have to be pretty cautious about how we spend our mana. Alright, I don't want to get stuck in for too long against the dwarf melee. You guys need to start pushing through. I mean, obviously our melee can stay in for a while against the dwarf melee, but the Doomflayers, I'm going to try not to get stuck here. Alright, good Jezzail focus. Good rattling lack of focus. And let's do some basic summons here. So we have... Damn it. Edgepan. Who uses Edgepan? Alright, try to keep these guys from running away. The Jezzails will break the Lord, hopefully. The Warp Lightning Cannons should be completely focused on him for the moment. Do I want the Jezzails to hit the Ironbreakers, maybe? Like, their Lord's important to kill and everything, but... we also have other problems. I'm going to have these guys start moving up. We're just going to try to do it in such a way that we don't block the Rattling Gunners. Because, like, we do have to kill these Giant Slayers. It's probably time for us to go ahead and do some of this. Oh, I forgot what the range on this is. It's bad. Alright, well, you're going to run this way then. And where do we want the catapults actually focusing? Does it matter? I mean, they should probably focus just sort of like in the middle of the enemy unit. In the middle of the enemy ball. Dwarf ball. Not a thing that smells great. And that's Skaven talking there. It's just it's a whole very pungent battlefield. I'm gonna have the Jezzails try to break Thorgrim, and we're gonna try to hold up the Ironbreakers for long enough with summons from Remamute. Also, can I drop? Ooh, Assault of Stone does work over this distance. Well, I think we'd be very silly not to drop it somewhere over here. Let's do... It's hard to predict exactly where these guys are gonna end up. Let's do it like here. There's an awful lot of dwarf warriors and stuff right there. You can do that while running, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, that's doing some damage. Come on, get in there. The Warp Lightning's making contact, but he is not flinching. Alright. These guys are going to just move... Actually, you know what? You guys can just start focusing on him. We're going to have you all move back a little bit. And do I want to drop Storm Vermin on him? Not really. What I really want to do here is just have this... Have him be killed in a different way. It's not quite working out the way I would like. Because we want to be casting other stuff, right? You guys, I guess, can just move in. There's nothing... For the moment, nothing to worry about line of fire-wise. And we need to get the Doom Flares out here. Actually, here's what the Doom Flares can do. Charge him, and then he will not be easy to knock off balance. That's not a thing that we're probably going to be able to do with him. But we can have them just do some damage. Probably Remamute should not stay in and potentially... engage in melee combat. He's got to be... Yeah, he's close. Alright. He feels like giving up. This would be a good time to do some other stuff. You guys should chase. Let's summon up some more rats here. Alright, it's looking pretty good for us. Dwarves can be tough, but I think we've done it. All right, now his unit was raiding, not marching, so they will not be completely destroyed here. I'm gonna have a bunch of my melee guys just disengage from the Giant Slayers if we can now, because these Giant Slayers are going to continue to do decent damage, even if they're not particularly tough. They still output the damage, and I would love to kill them with units that they can't harm, like units that have guns that are very far away from them. And it looks like, for the most part, our ranged units have the right idea. Jeez, that's a terrifying amount of projectiles. You guys focus on the Slayers. It seems like being unbreakable would be like a huge benefit, but in practice, it can it can often be close to meaningless and sometimes even detrimental. Alright, let's just get in here and finish cutting these dudes up. You lot can help, I suppose. Man, they have taken all of the damage that they've taken here very evenly spread out over their guys. So there's like an awful lot of figures still alive, while that total health bar is remarkably empty. And they did not put up nearly as much of a fight as I thought they were going to. We saw the Dwarven units surrender at higher health levels than I was expecting. It's part of why I overcommitted so much on food, was I figured this was going to be one of those to the bitter end type situations. I cannot believe that any of them are still alive. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's only like 2 Giant Slayers left. Now it's just 1. There you go. Just knock him down. You don't have to fight fair. Don't let anybody tell you you can only punch them while they're standing up. How is that guy not dead yet? Look at him. This is the toughest dwarf in history. Look at all the spinning blades. It's just so much metal. We've hit so much metal against his face over and over and over again. Alright, that was not a close victory. We did extremely well and lost almost nobody. Also, really great XP gain for our army on that one. I'm a little disappointed in the performance of the Weeping Blades here. The fact that they didn't get a ton of kills on their own doesn't necessarily mean that they weren't doing important work, because some of the Storm Vermin kills can probably be attributed to the fact that the dwarves had reduced armor. But still, I'm disappointed in the numbers we see here. They don't actually have super great melee stats themselves. So if we have to attack that army again, it looks to me like, since they obviously completely lost all their units of Slayers, their actual damage output potential is very low. And while those units are... Oh, 9%. That's actually a fairly significant replenishment. You know what? I'm going to take that. Because there are other dwarf armies in the area, right, that we may have to fight in the near future. Earned ourselves an Iron Curse icon, which is unlikely to be useful. Also, wow, research rate plus 10% faction-wide. I did not realize the trait for defeating him was so good. And then he fell back an incredible distance that we can't... That's annoying. We can't follow him. Well, I'm just going to go into ambush mode here while I replenish then. Hopefully he'll lose sight of us and think it's safe to come back in. In Dotternbach, I don't think it's worth repairing the building, because it's just going to get destroyed. Alright, so we ended up with another 3,400 gold. What do we want to do with that money? Man, I hope Cazador Cromson doesn't attack Grunberg this turn, because things are going to be so much better for us next turn. Like, where do we really need to do stuff? None of the forest places have upgrades or building slots available yet. Yeah, it'll be a little while on those. I guess over here, the Southern Grey Mountains are sort of on the front of this battle. That's a place where upgrades could be pursued. Also, Xeraxil. Yeah, we have time to build some defenses into Xeraxil, I think. I mean, we already have defensive structures in the smaller settlements. I guess we just pursue more growth and money? Like, this is a pretty easy upgrade. And then we could build another money building on the extremely cheap over here, and also upgrade this one. It's going to keep increasing that income, right? Are there any income increasing buildings that need to be leveled up here? Marienburg has an open slot. We could do a thing. We do have taxation on here. It's not super safe for us to. I probably ought to actually save this slot for a Taskmaster's platform, right? Yeah, let's hold off on that. Okay, so we have a strategic concern to discuss here. Letting the Wood Elves survive would probably, I think, have very little effect. Like, I don't think they're going to be able to recruit anything. Let's see, their main structure doesn't give them recruitment ability. This thing they built here doesn't give them recruitment ability. It does lower their cost for recruitment to pull stuff from the global pool. And then they have a thing down here. What's in Carrick-Bufdar? We can't see what's in Carrick-Bufdar, but it's only a single building slot. So yeah, I believe it is the case that they literally can't recruit an army at this point. So we don't need to finish them off, even though they're, you know, getting a bunch of free income just for existing and stuff. But they do still have agents, and their agents will still run around and make my life difficult. So I'm thinking that maybe we could have Bilefitch run up and take over Gorsel and Arnau, and that way we have control of the entire wasteland, so we can issue commandments that'll help keep public order under control. It does increase our exposure to Middenland, but if Middenland wanted to attack us, they already could. We have a shared border and everything. It's probably fine. And Bilefitch probably won't add too much to the defense of this area. So I think that's going to be our plan. Bilefitch is going to go up there and stomp those guys out, and then we'll get Carrick Bufdar at some point, whenever we can afford to spare an army for that. And I think we've managed to break down the Dwarf Tide to some degree over here. Things are still unsafe in the south, but there's only one actual full health dwarf army left right on our eastern front. I mean, we have no idea how many more are coming. We certainly know that they have the capacity for a hell of a lot of units based on the balance of power bar. What's your deal? No. And we should probably go around and ask all the people we're at war with if they would like to maybe not be at war with us anymore. Very happy to see this. Our allies continuing to stick it to our enemies in a way that will maybe make them too weak to fight us. Alright, if another army is going to show up, this will be the moment. I don't like the number of level 40 dwarven agents that we're seeing around here. Yeah, this sucks. Well, so what's left in these armies? There's an awful lot of very badly damaged dwarven units. And then Cazador Cromson himself is not in great shape either. He does have a catapult and also an organ gun, which is, in function, somewhat similar to a rocket battery, basically. Like it's got a low angle of fire, and it's really good against massed infantry. We might hold, maybe. I'm going to go ahead and plow maximum food into this battle. I guess, actually, probably not, because he's going to have siege towers and stuff, right? The Grunberg's been under siege for a couple of turns. This is a shame, because now we're going to have to rebuild Grunberg. We are, however, going to give this our all. We're gonna try as hard as we can here. I am not afraid to spend a Doom Rocket on this if it looks like it will turn the battle. Because if we held here, it would completely shatter what's left of the Dwarven push, and it would put us in a great position to kill all of Sterlin's armies. Because I think there's a non-zero chance that Ikit Claw's army could just roll over that whole bunch of Sterlin dudes. I know there's like 4 full armies over there, but they're all garbage units. Alright, so we have a Warlock Engineer who only knows 1 spell. We have access to Warp Bombs. They have no ram, just the siege towers? Really? Slow building dwarves. That's unusual. Dwarven siege towers are pretty cool looking. This is the reason it takes so long to build them. They put a lot more aesthetic workmanship into these than is absolutely necessary. And then in the front, they open up like a nutcracker, just like, and then out come all of the dwarves. So there's 0 chance that we're going to be able to destroy a siege tower, right? Well, if this one's walking directly forward toward this tower, I wonder if combining this tower and this tower's fire would be enough. Probably not. If we have the... Oh, we have a catapult. Hold on now. Maybe we can do it. If the catapult is also hitting the siege tower the whole time, we might be able to break one of them, and thus make it a lot slower for the dwarves to be able to make it up onto the wall, which could make a difference. That could be a big deal. So we're going to want a couple units of shielded clan rats right here. We're going to keep these guys up front for the moment so that they're able to sling into enemy incoming. Maybe I want to have... We don't really have that many units of slings. Yeah, this is fine. Alright, and then you have to expect over here they're still going to do ladders and stuff, so we have to make sure that we are controlling the towers and ready to sling garbage at them. And it probably shouldn't be Skaven slaves. It should be the better gutter runners that are right there. I don't know why that would be arranged the way that it was. The Warlock Engineer should definitely be on this side. Keep the cavalry in the middle. Alright, I think this is reasonable. We don't really need anybody just back. Because there's nothing flying here. There's no chance that we're going to see any enemies hit the circle. Alright, I think we're ready to do it. As soon as the towers become ours, we will give them good targeting orders. there's a chance. There's a chance we can break one of the siege towers. We definitely will not be able to get both of them. But if we could break one of them and have the rate of approaching dwarves, that's worthwhile. I don't like the fact that this tower fired its first volley at the wrong target. Okay, the catapult shots are, well, some of them are impacting. So you can see that purple bar. It's not super easy to see it dropping against the brown background. You should be focused on the siege crew here, if possible. Those grudge thrower dudes are a problem. Yeah, that tower's actually gonna, that siege tower's gonna go down if we can get another catapult volley or two off. Hold on now. We have our first summonable clan rats. If we summon right here, probably the clan rats won't get anything done, but I think there's a non-zero chance the Ironbreakers will turn around and throw grenades, and they actually each only carry like 1 or 2 grenades, I think. So if we can get them to spend those on a one of our 10 summons here, I think that's probably worthwhile. And who knows? Maybe they won't. Maybe they won't get the job done quite fast enough, and we actually will kill a significant number of these dwarves. Come on, it's so close. Just get one more good catapult volley off. Oh, you're kidding me! How is it still alive? There we go. There we go. I don't think. Yeah, look, the arc's not. The arc's not there. Okay, we got closer to killing the second one than I thought we were going to. It takes a huge amount of focus fire. If you have an army actually in the settlement that has its own catapult-type units, you can much more effectively break down enemy siege towers. So they will still be able to climb the walls the old-fashioned way, you know, with ladders, but yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the way that went. These guys totally did spend some grenades, it looks like. You can see the explosions on the ground. And we totally have killed a significant portion of the catapult crew. That went really well. Alright, I don't know that there's a lot else to do here. We want to, again, be careful with our Warp Lightning because we have somewhat limited winds of magic, so I think we're not going to cast anything just yet, not until they actually hit the wall. I am going to have these gutter runners change positions. Okay, as soon as that's free, we can tell them to move there instead. I think once it's docked, it becomes invincible. Yeah, it loses its health bar. So we can't destroy it to break their approach and angle anymore. Alright, just do your best, everybody. Interesting that they're climbing with Quarrelers. I mean, those are great weapon Quarrelers. So those are a ranged unit that has a two-handed axe slung across their back. They're certainly not useless in that situation. Where does it make the most sense to deploy the next Menace Below charge? It probably isn't the cannons here, just given the number of enemies that are nearby. Maybe it is, though. Again, just like slows down their approach, gives us more time to shoot at them. I'm gonna try to finish off the Grudge Thrower crew, because it looks like they have stayed with their siege gear. And if you guys take damage quickly enough, we can just warp bomb you? Yeah. Wow, that didn't do anything. Warp bomb, not actually great. Alright, the wall is broken. That's pretty bad. You guys over here should maybe come and do something about that. Come and form up in front of that wall. Stupid cannon. And then over here we need... Let's see what's coming up. Great Beard, or Great Weapon Longbeards, and normal Longbeards. I would rather have my clan rats engage with these guys, I think, so we're going to leave the Night Runners to this. Good luck, everybody. And there's enough of these guys on the wall now that Warp Lightning starts to be a little sensible. Okay, the damage output there was still pretty good, even though that's a Even though that's an enemy that is magic resistant. That's your priority, if you can get them. Oh, camera. Okay. Sometimes the camera behaves a little bit unpredictably. Alright, we're holding off better than I thought we would. Oh, man. Oh, man. Like, these guys are not really moving forward all that quickly. Hold on, let's unpause for a second. Oh, they're not moving forward at all. It's gotta be, right? Like, I know this is a bunch of half health units, but we could probably wipe 6 units off the table here. They're high health units. What else? Like, where else would this be maybe as useful? We might be able to catch a larger number of total units gathered up over here, and hammerers are tough. Hammerers are very heavily armored and pretty good at putting out the damage. But this feels very significant to me. So it's 2 units of Iron Breakers, the Grumbling Guard, the Peak Gate Guard, and I know they're wounded, but I'm going to do this. They aren't moving. They've made themselves a pretty good target. And over here, that crew is disengaged from their weapon. Yeah, this makes sense now. A lot of the defensive dwarves have run out. Does that make my Doom Rocket not go off, really? Why would that be the case? It is not the case that the people who are launching the Doom Rocket are the guys we just summoned out of the ground. Those two things should be unrelated. Alright, come on. Please let this be as good as I want it to be. That's pretty good. We wiped out that unit of miners over there, too. Not like an important one, obviously. But still something. What is our catapult? Our catapult's shooting at the wall. That's probably not ideal. Shoot over the wall at those guys. Okay. So this is their lord. If we can kill him, obviously, it has big implications for the battle as a whole. You guys should... Are there... Okay, there are Longbeards on the wall. Miners are already done for. I mean, this is tough, right? This is a lot of units over here. I think it was important to break down those numbers a little bit. It was a good Doom Rocket. That's decent catapult fire. It's at least theoretically decent. Not doing that much damage, but that's the place where they would be doing the damage. Alright, I'm going to have the rattling rat ogres try to pull out and recharge here. Looks to me like we'll have the most success from this angle. This is where our units are the least dense. We're about to eat some grenades, unfortunately. I wonder if we could drive the Iron Breakers back with a charge. We're doing alright. We broke off the cannon crew. Do I want to just throw a unit of summoned clan rats back here? Where else could they be useful, I guess is the question. You guys are almost out of arrows. But this is a place. Is this better? This is probably better. I don't know that we'll necessarily win this battle, because those are the great weapon quarrelers, but we can at least try. And over here we are losing this side of the battle. Where's my Warlock Engineer? Hey, buddy. I think we got another Prime Warp Lightning location for you. You guys got to get over here because we're starting to lose this battle. Agreed. Yes. Yeah, Warp Lightning is going to be really important here. What could we have the catapults doing that's more effective than what they're doing right now? I mean, shooting at these Longbeards in here obviously would be great. I mean, it would be great if we could hit them. Given the low accuracy of catapults in general, I tend to want to use them where enemy forces are grouped up. I don't know that we have an actual angle on this. The wall's certainly going to make it tricky. They could hit here, but yeah, as soon as we start extending in there, they feel like they can't do it. And if we give this order, they'll move to try to get to a location where they can do that. So maybe we want to instead just point them over here and hope. I think they need to be pointed this way anyway at this point. Oh, actually, those guys. Those guys are the obvious answer. And this right here is exactly where we need to apply one of these.
Ready, ready. Fight, fight. Yes, yes.
I'm going to actually have these guys get down off the wall. They're probably not helping anybody up on that wall. We can at least be, like, firing into the flank of these miners and breaking them that way. You guys gotta fall back, it looks like. You guys gotta blow up. That was alright. That did decent damage. Oof, boy. Grenades. It turns out. Hey, follow orders. Hold these guys in place so we can drop another Warp Lightning. There's not much health left in those dudes. How's this thing over here going? Not that well, it turns out. You two both need to get over here. You guys also need to get over here. Make sure these guys actually move into the area, though. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Yeah, we are done trying to defend that part of the wall, it turns out. Ooh, good time for you guys to recover your will there. I don't know that that unit's hit points is above 50%. There we go. Okay, we broke a couple of those dudes. A lot of these enemies are at such low health, it would be a real shame to to die at this point, to lose to them now. Alright, hold on, let's reassess the situation here. So we have these clan rats that just came down off the wall, they're feeling pretty healthy. We still have a wall battle going on this side that we're absolutely going to lose, and there's no way to stop that from happening, probably. Warp Lightning has a pretty long range, right? We might be able to... why can I not select this unit? There we go. We might be able to get a Warp Lightning on those guys while they're still all bunched up like that. I think that would be pretty good for us. And then we have another summon available, but like I'm wondering if we want to maybe just save it until they all get closer. Catapult crew is very close to out of ammunition, which is a real problem. Let's have them move in, because obviously this is where they're going to have to be focusing. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Some decent damage on the fleeing enemies, but we need you to pull back now. Do I want to just drop in here? I kind of don't, I think. Maybe what we do here... Wow, they have insane attack range. Okay. All of you guys form up further back. Did not realize that was going to be an issue. See if we can maybe dislodge them. What am I doing? That's not... Sorry, I'm paying attention to the wrong things here. You gotta focus. It's a whole full health unit coming up off the ground still. Jesus. Alright, so here's how we want to do this. I'm going to let them enter, summon units to their sides, engage them and try to turn them, and then charge their flanks. Damn giant slayers. Remember, Warlock Engineers can fight a little bit. They're not like great fighters, but they're a lot better than a lot of just straight wizard types are. Also, I have no idea why we have enemy gun units running up to melee us when they still have plenty of ammunition. Seems like maybe, I'm going to guess, a bug. That's probably not what they're supposed to be doing. Right now you're firing at... Probably these guys are the next most sensible target, right? In case it was not clear, we are lost. We have lost. But we did some good damage here. Frankly, it's very impressive, I think, that our units managed to hold out as well as they did, considering the numbers advantage that the dwarves had, you know, and how much better dwarves are. A dwarf is than a Skaven, generally speaking. On the whole, I'm pretty pleased with our performance. Get in there, stab them. But yeah, they're gonna flood the zone here in a way that we can't really do a lot about. And the catapults have fired their last volley pretty soon here. Those guys are flanking us in a way that I can't really stop. Have another Warp Lightning available. Okay, there we go. Well, on the whole, like I'm saying, I think a pretty good outcome. If these guys do not take Grunberg, then this was all a huge waste for them. I assume they're going to actually claim... Or if they burn Grunberg down, it's still... That's better. There's a non-zero chance we're going to see them sack Grunberg and then just back off for no reason, though. That would be my ideal outcome here. Either way, though, this is a really embarrassing way to lose 1,200 dwarves to just like a random settlement garrison when we have a full army that is, I believe, well within a single turn's movement. And Thrin managed to pull off 192 Warp Lightning. Oh, not all of that's Warp Lightning, because he was engaging in melee at the end there, but probably most of it is. And that's pretty good against dwarves. With the I think they all have natural 25% magic resist. Alright, so... What do? They burned it down. Okay. In terms of actually harming us, burning it down was the best thing to do. That makes things the worst for me. Them taking it over would have probably been slightly better for them, but they wouldn't have been able to hold it. I have no idea whether they know that or not. Because I don't know if they have Vision of Wicked Claw. Weird time for Sterling to start getting aggressive. Oh hey! A Border Prince's army comes out of the darkness. Okay, that's irrelevant. We don't care about that. Boy, I sure hope that, I sure hope the Sartosan pirates are able to take and hold some of that coastline down there. Because they could really weaken... What's he doing? They could really weaken the Border Princes.
Can you feel it? From the north it comes. The tendrils of chaos spread south, tainting the lands. With it, the warriors of chaos march. We must ready ourselves, for war is coming. But who has brought the warring tribes together? What manner of champion holds that power?
Okay, that's probably a good thing for us. There's a pretty good chance that this, like, has no... Alright, buddy. There's a pretty good chance this will have no direct effect on us at all, since the Empire is not in a position to be attacked by those guys. And we're technically not aligned with Chaos. If we ran into a Chaos army, it would kill us just as much as it would kill anybody. But with those guys coming in right here is where all those dudes just spawned. They will hopefully be able to sweep through these minor Kislev settlements without garrisons and stuff pretty quickly. And then they could start drawing off the Empire's attention, which would maybe give us some breathing room down here. Although at this point, none of the things that are threatening us are directly owned by Reichland anyway. Well, what do I want to do? I do not, in fact, have the movement range necessary to do anything at all, it looks like. Oh, you know what? It looks like it'll give me that. There's no red arrow on the ground, indicating a second turn of movement. So even though that guy is definitely actually outside my movement range, it might let me have it. And this'll be a completely trivial battle. Wow, I took way more damage than I should have there. I'm gonna maybe actually eat the captives? We could potentially get attacked next turn. Alright, so let's do that. And then we definitely want to move Ikit Claw so that he is in reinforcement range of Altdorf. If they want to fight me, they're going to have to fight everything. Altdorf has 20 units to add to that battle. And then we don't want to move him in any further because obviously we want him to have movement range on Grunberg. Infectique doesn't have anything to do this turn, right? Yeah, let's just let the recruitments continue. I don't remember telling you to get a recruitment past the threshold. Alright, we'll leave that like that. That's fine. He's coming along. Vomik needs to underway move into a place that matters. So there's two ways we could go about this. We could underway in this direction to underway that way afterward, or we could underway move out to here and just try to run out into this area and start making trouble. The big danger of the double underway move, even though it does put us in position to help more directly, is that it means I'm standing out in the open over here in underway stance, which does not afford the ability to retreat very well. This is a more cautious and definitely more recoverable position if the number of enemy armies is greater than we expect or something like that. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the right move is here, because obviously the loss of Vomik's army at this moment would be a huge problem. You are headed generally north, so we're just going to take you as north as you will go. He's going to underway next turn over to like Ubersreich, and then from there it'll probably be faster to run, and he's just going to go clear out... I think this army should be capable of clearing out those Wood Elf settlements by himself. We might have him stop as he's running through Reichland and grab, like, trade out a couple units of Skaven Slave Spears for, like, some catapults or something. Just to give him a little bit of range advantage over everyone. What are we going to do? Because if we take the underway move to Carrick Norn, and then decide next turn we don't want to underway move out into the open because it doesn't look safe, I'm going to have to just run back here anyway. Because, like, normal movement from Carrick Norn is total garbage. Yeah, we have to do it that way, as much as that sucks. Okay, so... I guess there's nothing else to do up here. Oh, never mind. There's something else to do. Do we want Erat to try to take out this high-level hero, maybe?
Call me Death Master. Assassinate.
If we don't do that, he's going to harass our stuff, and Pestilich is just running back to join the festivities. Honestly, we might roll Pestilich into Bilefitch Stab's army. That'd be a big murderousness improvement for him. Upside was not killed by a dwarf, and now has the chance to kill that dwarf instead. No, he doesn't. Never mind. Yeah, let's try that. Way more likely to result in a victory. And there's a full-size dwarven army at Fildorf, which means they had 5 stacks? Did we kill a dwarven army? No, I think all of them have survived and are just horribly wounded. So yeah, they had way too many dudes over here. Way too many dwarves. Ekich can move out here and just watch for... I don't think we need to attack Grim Grobynutter. Also, I did not... That name is not okay. Okay, so Grombrindle is still over there at Svorak. There was one more dwarf army in this region, but I think the last we saw of it, it was moving this way. So I don't think it's going to be that guy. I don't think they could have covered that distance, but there's probably another dwarf army over here somewhere, is my point. Or they might have just, like, underway moved to Karak Izor for defense. Alright, these guys did not realize I was close enough to attack them. Thank you, ambush mode. That is not far enough away. You have failed to escape me. This turn we can probably take the leadership buff. Boy, it sure would have been nice to get warp fuel there. Is this the turn? It is. Alright, excellent. So, we have to decide now what we want to do with Remamute. Do I want to go down here and try to rescue Myrmidons? Alchemist Spark's army is actually pretty small and weak. It wouldn't be that hard to pull off. And then we have Myrmidons to continue to distract the dwarves, because they'll probably go after it. Yeah, that might actually be the right play. We definitely want to get this upgraded. I need to get proper walls up around Xeraxil. Obviously, the downside of going down here is that it means it's a lot slower for me to return to the other things that are going on. What is your movement range? Your movement range is such that you can attack me. But probably if I do a fallback during the attack, they probably won't be able to follow up. We can't really see what's in his army except that it has ghosts. I'm going to move back the rest of my normal movement range and just stay here. So we might be able to hit Alchemist Spark next turn. We will definitely be able to run from Grombrindle if he comes after us. Yeah, okay. I think that's sensible. Who else did we not give orders to yet? Nobody. Everybody has done things. Sorry, this isn't what I want. I wanted... Hey, you know what? Maybe that is what I wanted. So I'm going to try to keep an eye on public order and stuff. And public order in the forest is going to be bad for a while. We need to start getting bells up as soon as we can. Part of that is the provincial instability penalty, which is just going to wear down over time, but another part of it is, you know, just like the natural stuff of being Skaven. I'm also not keeping a super close eye on what's going on over here. Looks like we need to upgrade this. Yeah, it probably behooves us to have a quick look through all of our stuff over here. Okay, at Castle Baston, we really need an upgrade to this, which we cannot afford. Red and dropping is particularly where we want to pay attention. So we probably have to spend quite a bit of money over the next couple of turns just upgrading bells. We have bells, we just don't have them high enough level to do the thing we need them to do. Oh man, look at this. I used the mouse wheel and it's actually scrolling a sane amount. An amount that could potentially be what we want it to be. Alright, the vaults are... yeah, of course. Not a big surprise there. The wasteland is having problems. Again, not a big surprise. Do we have enough money to start? Okay, yeah. Let's definitely do that. This will get easier once we own the rest of the province, and we can build additional bells and or use a commandment. Then here, public order's not changing. Everybody who was going to go off to the rebellion has gone off to the rebellion. Yeah, I'm pretty annoyed that I did not pull the last vial of warp fuel that I need to unlock that Regiment of Renown Doomflayer unit. Because those guys would probably go into... Bilefitch's army at this point as well. Unfortunately, a lot of people are making common cause around their hatred of us. It's not ideal, obviously. That guy critically failed to assault Vomik. He was well out of his league there. Alright, obviously... Actually, we're not... No, there's no reason for us to engage in this battle. We can just retreat to a distance we know they can't chase us to, and get replenishment, and then go after them on our turn. Potentially get lucky and pull an offensive ambush, but even if we don't, we're just way healthier and they're out of position now. Yeah, I think we have those guys under control. So, I'm really hopeful about Chaos. My guess is we should have a look at the general strength of... Ooh, also interesting. We should have a look at the general strength of Kislev and figure out if there's any chance of them stopping the Chaos Army. Because if the Chaos Army pushes through those Kislevite settlements up there, Reichland is going to be very distracted for a while. Which means that if we can get our own sort of front yard here under control, we can probably push into what will effectively for them be the back and do some real damage. Do we actually want to fight this? If I rolled a bunch of food into this battle, I wonder if we could hold. Because we have the benefit... Oh, our walls are broken, right? Because the settlement got ravaged by dwarves and then got attacked by these guys right after in siege, so there wasn't any repair going on. I don't actually know if we could win this. If we could win this and hold on to the settlement, it would be okay for us. I think I'm fine just letting this fall. We probably can't hold here. And they'll just burn that down and then cease to exist, which is what rebel armies usually do. The kind of rebel army that you see is based on the natural history of the area and the corruption present. Sometimes you will see an eliminated faction appear as a rebel army, and if they take the settlement, they'll actually reclaim it, and then that player will be in the game again. But that's not going to happen with Skaven corruption at Myrmidons. So, why am I not getting... Oh, shoot, I didn't think about that. Myrmidons didn't belong to us at the beginning of our turn, so we didn't get all that replenishment. We should have, but we didn't. Well, that's definitely interesting. So if we have Ekich turn around and assault these guys... Boy, he is not likely to succeed at that. If we have him assassinate Burlock Gundrickson, which is about a coin flip... Okay, he got it, I assume, since he got a free pet off of it. You have a... Okay, you already have a wolf rat. Did I not enter that? Oh, he gained 2 levels, actually. Okay. I wonder if we could do this. If we were to roll an offensive ambush against him, I think we would probably pull it off. He won't get reinforcements if we roll the ambush either. I don't know. I'm not sure what we're going to do here. I just realized how long the episode is. You know what? We're not going to play this whole turn out. I'm going to think about this. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I think we've broken the forward roll of the dwarves. We have a little bit of territory to recover, but I'm optimistic about it. I think we're going to be able to hold out as long as they don't do what Reichland has done to us and just come in with a second and then a third wave of full health armies full of super high level units. Will that happen? I don't know. I guess we'll find out next time. And we'll see you then.